Academics, sports and physiology.
They call you all kind of names, this and that, and then they come out from
life, we chase the dream.
the discrepancy.
Welcome to another episode of A.S.A.P, Academic Sports and Physiology. I'm your host tonight, Juanita Goodwell, and I'm joined with some other coaches in the area, JJ Foster and Bruce Stevens. Thanks, guys, for joining us tonight. How are you?
Good to go. Glad to be back again.
Glad to be back.
Thank you for having us. And I like the way you say A.S.A.P.
A.S.A.P. Well, and if it's your first time joining us, A.S.A.P, Academic Sports and Physiology, is all about talking about young people and how sports connects in their lives with character, discipline, and just kind of just getting out in the community and connecting young people to resources and information. So hopefully tonight we'll have a conversation that will hopefully help a couple of kids with a little bit of guidance on how to kind of move forward with what they're trying to do with their sports and life journey. And then we'll also talk about some of the hot topics that are going on in the in the sports world today as well. So
sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, I know we got a couple of things that are happening tonight. The NFL draft, got the NBA playoffs happening. So anything you guys are looking forward to with these two big things happening out there?
Shout out IU, Fernando Mendoza.
Well, IU's having a hell of a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
how many of the guys was projected to get drafted? Because I know they was talking about it.
I think
record year for him.
Omar Cooper, another
Fort Wayne
product.
Southside.
Yeah, he's projected to go in the first round. So that would be great. And then the Pons, the defensive back, I think he may even late first or early second or whatever. But I heard maybe 7 or 8 guys from IU. It usually took about 10 years for 7 or 8 guys for IU to get drafted. So it's good to see.
No question.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you guys. Mendoza, heck of a college year, carried IU to a national title with things we never thought we'd ever see. Mm-hmm. To me, he has all the makings to be a great quarterback. I mean, so focused, great leader. He kind of reminds me of Peyton Manning, and people look at me. But I mean, when you that cerebral, that type of leadership, I think he has all the tools, and he's dedicated to the game. My biggest question, though, he's drafted to the Raiders, who historically have messed over some talented guys.
Yeah.
Give me what y'all think about that?
Well, I'll just say, I think that the Raiders are still going through a lot of changes in the last couple of years, and how many coaches they've had, and it's just has been a little bit of a struggle. So hopefully they'll put some pieces around to kind of have a little bit of cohesion, but I think that's what they're truly lacking. But being a Kansas City fan, I don't want them to grow too much. I need them to stay beatable. We need to be able to make that happen.
My thing with the Raiders is I think Raiders just don't show any patience. I mean, you can't bring in a coach, he's gone after 1 year. You bring in Gino from
Gino
Seattle. Yeah. No, Gino
yeah.
And he's going after 1 year. And even before him, they just not showing any patience. Mm-hmm. And I think they've got I agree with JJ. I think Mendoza is going to be a really good quarterback. I was just waiting all this year for him to fold, and he never did. As a matter of fact, he got stronger and tougher and smarter early on. I like that Big Ten game when Ohio State was blitzing him early. I think he got hit late, got back up, and then they start throwing those behind the shoulder patterns, and he just I think the guy's very smart and he's accurate. He's got a good arm, and they drafted a nice running back last year, and then the year before they had the kid from Georgia at tight end. So if they can get a couple of receivers and some linemen, I think offensively they could get there. I don't know what they did. What Crosby had to come back because of the issue, so I don't know what they have besides him on defense. Yeah. But I think if they're just patient, you got to give the kid at least 3 years. You can't expect him to turn the franchise around in 1 or 2 years. You got to give him 3, maybe 4.
The other good thing, they brought in Cousins too. So you talk about a mentor. That's that'd be a good mentor for him too. Right. If they're gonna be patient, like you said, let him develop a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, look at what the Giants did last year, and they brought they was patient with the quarterback, and I mean he had some success. Now he may have to tame it down a little bit and don't run as much because they can't afford him to get injured. And even the Browns when they finally went with Sanders, and that's another one. Will Sanders be back as a starter? You know, I've heard a lot of talk about Watson, and I know they're paying him a lot of money, and they said he's back to maybe old form. You know, so the NFL should be interesting, and this is a nice draft. So we shall see.
How about them Colts?
Well, our number one pick is Sauce Gardner because we lost him. I mean, hopefully he won't be injured and he'll play like of course.
And I'm going to say this. Hey, Juanita, last year, on our show, Colts fans, hey, somebody was riding high talking about, I told y'all. Oh, yeah, talked a whole bunch of stuff.
Hey, did somebody turn JJ's mic off yet?
Well, I'm just hoping that Kansas City builds around that offensive line because Pat Mahomes had to do too much this past season, and he struggled. But I just continue to be impressed with him. So hopefully he's healthy and coming back, and then they're just strengthening the offensive line because we really, really need that. So
it is. And Rice, right? Who was it? Was it Rasheed Rice that got in trouble? No, they. Yeah, which one got in trouble? The receiver that he had to sit out was it Rice?
Yes.
You know, if they get him back and the other one, I'm just still surprised because every time Mahomes get on the field, I expect them to win or him to do something. So it should be interesting.
They got to get him help. Because that's the thing. We talked about it. Got to give me help.
Well, I mean, I just really think that it's just he's just having to play under pressure.
Right. They brought in Walker too, didn't they? Did they get Walker?
Yes.
Yeah. So that should help a little bit. You got to be able to run the ball. In the league, and like you said, offensive linemen, and they've always had a pretty. I think their defensive coordinator does a heck of a job of whoever he has getting them prepared.
Yeah.
So.
And, hopefully everybody just, stays healthy and, Pat Mahomes is able to make a strong comeback and, take all those naysayers out the way. That's what I'm hoping for. But, that's what I'm praying for a good draft for offensive linemen and beef that up and give Pat some time to make some plays.
Yep.
So.
There we go. All right, enough of that, man. It's April. We talk about football, man.
Right.
NBA and playoffs, man. Come on. What y'all
I'm looking
talking
forward
about?
to it, though.
So
this
hold
is the time.
Speaking of the draft, before we go to the NBA, what about the WNBA draft?
Ooh.
It was some, not just the draft, but the free agency. I thought it was some good things going on in WNBA.
Well, while we on the draft, let's talk about the number one pick. And our backcourt back. Let's talk about that. Tell me, how close a backcourt are they?
Well, you know what? I don't know about all that. But they did play together, and you kind of played well.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Hey,
you good as Dallas as a PR person. When they cut they hit it all. That's speculation.
I can only go by what I've seen, and they played very well. So even though I get the pick, but with Enrique and Paige, I just didn't think they needed another guard. I think that I would have maybe went big, but who am I, But we shall see.
Yeah. Michael Jordan said, hey, I want Scottie Pippen. You go get Scottie.
You're right. Hey,
and if Peaches say, I want Herb, you go get Herb. Right? Right?
And if LeBron said, I want Bronny, you go get Bronny.
Take it back.
Peaches and her. Hey, reunited.
Well, speaking of Bronny, I as a Laker fan, it's been interesting to watch the game. I think LeBron has kind of picked up his caliber play in these first couple of games, and so it's been good to see that because it's not been something that you've seen when it comes to the playoff time, and so hopefully. They'll get past this round and continue to fight. But
yeah, you know what I've been impressed about with the Lakers and especially with LeBron. He realized that you got Austin Reeves and of course Luka, so he was willing to step back and take that third role. And for him to okay, I got to go back to number one. But what I've seen him do, he's still been, dishing, assists, and he's so smart. I think that's why he can continue to do the things he does. But the fact that he's still doing reverse layup dunks and some of the stuff he's doing is just is incredible to me. So
I agree with everything you guys said. I'm enjoying watching LeBron, the Lakers, what they're doing. That's been beautiful. Mm-hmm. But Who they Gary beat next round?
Well, that's
Who
why I
they
say
Gary
we
beat
got to
next
enjoy
round?
it now.
Bingo. You
Yeah.
better enjoy it now.
Yeah, 'cause
everything that the old
OKC
fella's
and-
doing, I'm impressed.
Right.
But when you look at these dogs and these other teams, that Nuggets Wolves series, hey, them was killers out there.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing with them.
But
You
Coach,
look at the
come on, that's
Thunder.
why you got to play the game.
You look at
That's why you got to play the game. So
You're right.
Hey, America. I wanted both of them to put up 50. Everybody that want to say whoever, throw their money on the table. I'm taking all them bets. They're not beating the Thunder. They're not beating the Nuggets or the T-Wolves.
Well, they did because they just don't match up well with them. Also,
Correct. That's what I'm
Because of
saying.
the-
That young thing. Them bugs are
those
some
guys are
dogs.
just too
That
fast
defense that
and-
we talking, man.
Yeah, they don't match up well with them. But here's another thing: we talking about how well the Lakers are playing, but also Houston just. I mean, what?
Yeah.
This
I mean,
is just
they're
bad.
missing-
Terrible.
It's just
Terrible.
bad. And
yes.
they are missing,
Yeah.
a player, I
They
guess.
are.
So that's what
Who?
That's what they say.
KD played the second game.
yeah, he played the second game, so that was
and
no
had
excuse.
21 the first half.
And ended up with three,
Well,
no,
And they
2
shut
points.
his butt
He ended up
down.
with 2
They
points in
figured
the
it out.
second
We
half.
gonna run two at him. Ain't
that-
nobody else gonna beat
Yeah.
us.
And now,
Figured it out.
and don't get me wrong, because I think KD is.
Oh, he's a scorer.
yes.
21 and a half.
Yes.
I mean, after him sitting down.
In that
yeah.
first half, man, his pull up and everything was just deadly. And so I'm going to give the Lakers and the coaching staff the adjustments that they made for that game. And I will say this: these dudes are playing hard. The Lakers are playing hard, and Houston is killing them on the boards. But the big fella, Shangu, he can't finish anything inside.
That's the key. He hadn't done anything.
Yeah. So I'm impressed with the Lakers, but I'm more kind of disappointed in Houston. I expected more out of them. Now, remember, they're going back home.
That's
so
what I just
things
going
can
to say.
change.
There's 2 games, so
Yep.
when
That
they
is true.
2,
Yep.
yeah, we sit there and
Always
say
happens.
something
Exactly.
different.
It always
Exactly.
happens.
And the other thing I'm gonna tell you with the Lakers, they talking about Luka could be back for Game 6. Now, is that a positive or is that a negative? To like what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that
they just Austin Reeves is listed as questionable now for the next game, and does it help or not? I don't know. I mean, anytime you can get someone in that can score it, it should help. But you don't want to mess up with the flow that they're
correct?
that they're doing.
You already said it. You got things at play. LeBron is going to defer to them guys. He the kind of agree. He's deferring, let them dudes do what they do.
Yep.
And both, great offensive guys. Ain't Gary guard nobody. And like people said, them cats are hunted.
Yes.
So we talking about Lakers playing hard and what Houston is doing, because you got guys that's committed to playing defense.
Yep.
And it really reminds me of some of them old teams LeBron played on, like in Cleveland. He out there with a bunch of just role players, guys
Yep.
doing their job. So now you putting 2 guys, quote unquote, superstars, offensive guys. Watch how Houston do. Watch what they do. Watch what they do.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, guys who wasn't getting buckets. Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Well,
he's scoring.
and I mean, especially if Luka comes back, the rest of those dudes, there's a lot of shots that you're not going to get.
Correct.
And I
Some
know
of them
I'm,
shouldn't be taking any shots.
so
So
you know what? I know I'm old
That part.
school, but you'll see some pick and rolls, and you'll get 8 on the block on a 6'2" guard, and they will not throw the ball in there.
Nah, they won't.
I'm just this new 3-point and is just in kicking it. They're kicking it to Vanderbilt to shoot a 3.
Yeah.
well, I mean, watching Marcus and LeBron's chemistry,
Yeah.
when they're on the court together, that brings back that
Well,
inside out.
because they're 2 vets. It would be like if me and you was going to the Y and play. They'll be like, man, these dudes look like they running plays. Well, not now, but back in the day, he was
Gotcha.
like they play with each other because we understand the game.
Yeah.
And those 2 really understand, especially playoff basketball.
And y'all want to know what's funny? Then we could talk about some other squads, but we didn't give a shout out. Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard
yes.
has been going to work. He had
He
a
has.
insanity moment. I
Yes.
mean, he out here. I mean,
And it's not just he's catching, shooting. I mean, he taking a few dribbles, pulling up on people
yes,
like, wow.
he got warm on about
Yes,
that. He
yes.
done went to
So
work. He done went to
it's
work.
impressive to see. And like you said, and see, San Antonio.
Wimby.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
when he's there, well, you know what?
Is
They
he going to
just-
play the next game?
They said it's been mixed reactions. A lot of people said he shouldn't be in Game 3, but they said he's making the trip, so which could be a possibility.
Right.
And I mean, the Spurs won some games without him this season. I just think when you go into a game and you ain't prepared, I think that might have been what the difference was.
Yeah.
But when you talk about development, that guy right there, Wemby, is a beast, man. I mean, you talking inside, outside, the spacing. That's what he makes everybody better because you got to respect him. So
This dude take one step from the free throw line, spin on the mug, and still dunk it.
Yeah.
His length, my wife would say, he reminds me of Ralph Sampson, only in size.
and maybe resemblance.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Not game.
But game is, I mean, and
yes.
no offense against Ralph Sampson because he was tough, but what he does is he come down and he stop and pull up a three. And then
Ralph Sampson meets KD.
Yes. So, and then I like that whole San Antonio squad.
No, they play, man.
Yeah. But what about the East?
That's what I was going to ask y'all. Who coming out?
Wow. I'm going to go with the Celtics. I like Cleveland, but for some reason, I think they lack defense, even though they got all that height inside. But they just lack defense and a little bit of toughness to me. I just don't think they play hard enough sometimes. But I really like the talent that they have. But the Celtics, they loaded, man. To me,
what happened game 2 with the Celtics?
Hey, everybody has one of them games, so
I missed it, but after somebody beat somebody by damn near 60, I didn't think I had to watch game 2.
Right.
And I looked, it was like,
but it's the NBA. You know how that is.
That part. But I just thought, like you said, the Celtics, I'm thinking if they locked and loaded, Tatum back, just like you see with the Thunder. I mean, them boys, it's just they're well-oiled machine.
Yes,
they know. Yeah.
And what's the other white kid that when he catch it, he's shooting about 40-50% from threes. Why can't I think of his name? He's about 6'7".
For the Celtics?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't think of his name. When Tatum was out, he really stepped it up. But I mean, he's got a quick release. He catch and shoot, boom. So I like everything about the Celtics.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just trying to figure what happened in
Yeah,
game 2.
yeah.
That worries me because again, I look at OKC and OKC that's why I like them. But I think I've said it on our old show when they hung the banners and them cats still got their dub.
Yeah.
If you look back to the NBA, anytime they had that banner ceremony where they get their rings, that team always get
blown out.
poured out the frame. I saw them go double overtime. It was against Houston. Matter of fact, it still was. I said, them some cats. I said, they win it all. I said, hey, I told some people, hey, call up Vegas right now. Whatever the odds, go ahead and put it on OKC because I know locked in when I see locked in.
Heck, I was watching him the other day, and, man, Jalen Williams.
The dark-skinned one?
Yeah, the dark-skinned one, the one that played more.
Ray Tober's son.
Yes, man, he does look like Ray Tober. He went on a 9-0 run by himself.
Yes, he did.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, Shea must be on the bench. But Shea is out there, and then next year, Shea going to run. And then the big fella goes. I mean, they play hard, and they deep, and they play defense. I think it's going to be them in Denver.
Okay. I was just going to ask you, Coach, who coming out of that Denver Nuggets series? Obviously, you think Denver is. Who you think coming out of there?
Well, I probably would go with Denver too, but I still got hopes for the Lakers to make some things happen. So
6-pack bet with these guys. I'm gonna tone it down, not 50, but I go 6-pack on that.
I mean, I would like to see the Lakers win, but I'm realistic also. But you never know.
I'm talking
basketball.
about Denver and the Wolves. I go to Wolves.
Oh, Denver and the Wolves?
Y'all going Denver. Y'all both in Denver.
I'm gonna go with Denver, but the Wolves, they showed me something.
The Wolves beat them last time they played.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. I'm going off what you said. You told the people Denver, man. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm still staying with Denver. I'm just saying the Wolves showed me something, but I'm still going with Denver.
Yeah.
Well, I know that with all of these things happening, we see a lot of this talent out there. One of the things that I wanted to just kind of just touch on, and whether we can have a lengthy conversation about it or not, because I look back at Pat Mahomes, right, and these players that are getting ready to enter, that next phase of their journey. Pat was a multi-sport player. I mean, he played baseball, basketball, football while he was in high school. We have a lot of those kids that are, doing that nowadays. Or for some schools, you have to, right? Because of numbers.
We have enough kids doing it, to be honest with you.
I was going to kind of take that a lot, but we, have kids doing it. I do think that it's something that needs to be a little bit more celebrated. I think the specialization is just a little too early. You got 7-8-year-olds that are like, no, I'm focused. My godson, is like, I don't think I'm gonna do basketball anymore. what are you talking about? No, I want to focus on baseball. I said, no, we're doing basketball still. Calm down. Like, you're going to play some, you got to do it. So what are your thoughts about being a multi-sport player, and what are some of the benefits and maybe some of the challenges you see with that?
You talking to two old school guys that came up playing multiple sports, that understand the importance of playing multiple sports. Yeah. We've coached athletes that have went on to be professional athletes, not in the sport, the sports that they played in high school. I mean, it is very important. I mean, when you look, and we sit here on this very show, we've had Rod Woodson sit there, Jalen Smith sitting in his seat. All of them talk about the importance of multiple sports. They all, grew up playing. But had a doctor at a panel discussion that we had, talked about all the injuries that we are seeing. Mm-hmm. It comes from overuse of the same muscle over and over and over. Yep. When you have multiple sports, you're training different muscles in different areas. And, we didn't have them. You look at somebody like a LeBron James at 40, still out there doing what he does, because people don't even realize that. He was a multiple sport. Right. So, yes, it is very important. And as you talked about at certain ages, you need to explore everything. You don't know what you're going to be good at. Yeah. And it trains you in so many different ways. So,
but you said it when you said your son said this, and you said no, you're not. And I think we've gotten to the point where so many parents have bought into. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get you a trainer. I'm gonna do this, and we're just gonna focus on this. And it's funny. Me and my son was having this conversation on the way here because he coaches track, and he's like, I need 2 more sprinters, and I can't get some guys that I know can do it. They like, nope, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah. And to me, it's 2 things. First of all, like you said, we're old school. When we were coming up, it's a sport. Oh, I want to play it. Yeah.
Competition.
Yes. And that's what I was going to get at. You just competed. Hey, I was telling about me and you. Hey, when we were coaching together at Harding, we would play 101 full court almost every day, didn't we? After practice. Yeah. And we would go to 9. And kids would look at us, and then when they tried it, how the hell did you guys make it to 9? We was in our 30s and 40s at the time. 30s, I think. Yeah.
30s, yeah.
But it was we just competed. And you would you would look at me and Jay when we was playing, those dudes don't like each other. But when it's over with, hey, we hanging out because we just competed. Yeah. And I just think that there's to a point now where kids just don't compete. Yeah. And, and like you said, think about it. James Hardy, basketball. Decided to play football, his last 2 years? Yeah. He gets there. Trey Essex. Basketball helped Trey Essex get to the league in football. I remember him telling me that his coach said, you got great footwork, and we know you're a tight end, but we want to switch you to offensive line. I think you can make the league. Okay, I'm in it. But people don't know. I coached Trey when he was 13 in baseball. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kids, you just want them to, what it used to be, go outside and play and don't come into the street lights. I don't want to see you. Yeah. And now they don't do that thing unless they're focusing on one thing. And it's all about competition. And I think the one thing that I think was great at Harding is we had good basketball teams. We didn't always have like great basketball players, but we had great athletes. That bought into, hey, what do we need to do? And majority of those guys were great football players that went on to play football in college. But hey, you need me to I know I'm 6 foot, but you need me to average 10 rebounds? Got it. But they could do it because of the athleticism and the skill set that they have from the other sport. Yeah, well, and that's kind of my back in time when we were very strong as a program and competing for championships every season. I had multi-sport players. I had a girl go to practice at soccer and come into open gym. Like just busted her butt for 2 hours on the soccer field, and came to open gym and gave us what we needed to get some work in, shots up, things of that nature. And nowadays it's just hard to get those kids to, I'm going to play, but right now I'm focused on this sport. So, and then like trying to give that other sport some time. There's benefits to it, right? And obviously as coaches, we have to,
if I have a track person come in for open gyms, I'm not going to focus on conditioning. You're getting conditioning going on out there. Let me focus on the game. Let me focus on your shot. Let's get on the gun. And so I try to, now we're talking to players about, okay, you're playing softball, you're doing, you play your AAU, I get it. You got other hands and everything. So, but you still got to be committed to us. You still got to give us that development time. It's not just about your personal growth, but it's also about our team growth, and keeping us together. So I just, I want, kids to be encouraged to, to take on that challenge, to be competing. And it just strengthens their opportunities.
Yeah. But Coach, you hit on something too, because again, it takes the kid to be willing to do it. And it takes coaches that are open-minded and understand it as well.
Right.
I had a talk a long time ago with an organization, I'll leave names out, but with an organization that was telling kids to be specialized as another. And I'm like, hey, why you telling this kid that? I got Charlie Ward, Rod Woodson, Trey Essex on speed dial my phone. All multi-sport. Charlie Ward won a Heisman but played in the NBA.
Right.
All of them, when I tell them that, they're like, man, who telling these kids that? But so I talked to the gentleman, and he said his biggest issue was coaches was telling them, if you can't come and you can't come to all our open gyms, you can't be out here. So they was forcing the kids to choose. And I said, wait, man, I don't know about them, but I know, again, our days at Harding, we shared our athletes. We understood how this has to work. Yeah. And so, to your point, I tell people all the time, track is nothing more than conditioning for football and basketball. Yeah. That's all. That's all it is. Yep. Basketball, the drills that we do, very similar to football. It's just another workout for you. But again, that coach. So when I hear about coaches, I knew on the girls' side there were some girls that was heck of basketball players. But there was a school. Their volleyball coach told them you had to choose. If you play basketball, hey, if you gonna play volleyball, you gonna play basketball.
Yeah, that's been definitely a problem.
I said, what? Yeah. There was a girl in our area. Hey, she was about 6'3". One of the best in the area. It had them volleyball legs. She could get up and everything. But I'm like, how come she ain't playing? They told me the volleyball. I said, wow. Yeah. His loss.
I was a couple of years ago, I came in to start an open gym, and girls volleyball was going on, and they were hosting Snyder. And I see nothing but height on that volleyball team. I went over to one of the basketball coaches from Snyder. I said, you got these girls coming out? No, they don't want to. They're not coming. They're all just volleyball. Yep. And I'm like, thank God.
Right.
Oh my God! There was just all this height. So but I just with this celebration of our athletes and the professional athletes out there competing right now, I just want kids to really look into. Everybody sees the end result, but they don't see the journey and the work that was had to get to that spot. So you got this kid that's getting ready to be, that was number one pick in the NFL. What did he do coming up, and what was that journey coming up? That's the work that you got to do. It doesn't just happen. And
if you look back at Major League Baseball players, basketball players, especially football players, the top players, you'll look at them and go, man, that kid was all state in basketball when he was in high school. Or that kid was all state in baseball, but he ended up playing football. They did multiple sports. But another thing that, at least for me, and I think you guys would agree, what it also teaches you, especially when you get to college, it gets you kind of prepared for time management.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the toughest thing that kids don't realize when they go to college is, how do I manage my time? Because your mama and daddy ain't there to tell you what to do. And if you play a sport, you got some, it's good because you got some regulations. But for those that didn't, oh, you mean I don't got to go to this class for another 2 days? Oh, I'll wait till the end to read that, or I'll wait till this. And you don't realize every class is telling you to read 6 chapters or whatever. So, playing, at least for myself, playing 3 sports in high school and all that, when I got to college, and then I worked also, when I got to college, all the stuff they had me do, okay, it's just the same schedule I just came from.
Correct.
Yeah.
So on into your adult life.
Yes,
you get to coach it. It's the same.
Right. So that part, I think the time management part, of course they're not going to see yet because they don't know what they're getting into. Yeah. But it just, and just like anything else, sports teaches you discipline.
Yeah.
And which you need for anything you do in life. I remember we had a kid at Harding one year, and he said he wasn't going to play football that year. And I remember as coaches, we were like, Coach Gooden was like, okay, well, you got to come to our conditioning. And we ran him so much. After that week, he said, I'm going to go back out for football.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
You know,
Be
and
out
that's what
there.
we wanted.
Yeah.
So, and also that's mental toughness. You know?
Yeah, having to play through that. So I know that we caught that on the tail end, and there could be so much more to discuss on that. But at the end of the day, it really is just, trying to encourage our kids to, take advantage of all their opportunities and really, be in that space.
And I want to say this because I think this is something that our kids lack or struggle with. If they're not the best or if they're not great at something, that's when they don't go out and do. You don't have to. Hey, I could be an All-American in football or All-State in basketball, and I'm like, how come you not running track? There's guys out there that's faster than me. I'm not the best. You don't have to be the best.
Right.
Just you go out. It goes back to like we talked about the competing.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for at the next level. Are you going to compete? I knew I wasn't the best in track. I don't work on track all year long.
Yeah.
So when I went out there though, hey, with a little bit, I went to state all 4 of my years in high school. Hey, proud of that because again, I didn't run summer track. I didn't do none of that. I walked out there, but I'm gonna compete. And I did what I could do with during that little time frame. But we get guys out here now. They're not going to run 100. They're not going to run no race because I'm going to lose. And
And they worry about
I don't
what
know how
people
to
think.
handle what people
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
And then, and it's messed up. And to further it, though, you got in the NFL, us scouts would tell you, a lot of these coaches, when they looking at everybody's background, we know how thoroughly they look at it. They want kids that play multiple sports. They don't want somebody to just play football all the time because, it tells you so much about a kid if you know that they play multiple sports.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think that we've reached that time. Great conversation. I know that, there's just more that we can extract from all of these little connections that are happening. So just shout out and good luck to all of those that are competing now and in all of their spring sports. And we're really looking to have a good conversation on the next one. So thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Hold
And
on,
Bruce, do you
remember? Yeah. Oh, you got
guys-
me?
yeah.
All right.
Bruce,
Before
you
we
got
leave.
something to finish us off
Yeah.
with?
Hey, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Academic Sports and Physiology.
Pavlov.
A$AP. Do it ASAP.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Pavlov's dog.
Academics, sports and
They call you
physiology.
all kinds of names, this and that, and then they come out
Study
in front of you.
life, we chase the dream.